came to Portugal to die before I die. I don't want to be here meeting, making friends. I don't want to be seeing the sights. 2 years ago, after following many paths for 25 years, one day I was reading out of 100 books I'd collected, and I started crying, and I said, the answer isn't in a book. The answer's in me. And I went to the internet, and I found my beloved. And from that moment on, my head and my heart have been resting at your feet. I was awake all night, restless. I've yet to find anyways, I love you. I'm here for death. Kill me.
Yeah. I heard before one time, no? I shared this also, how it came, this expression, because one man some years ago came to London, no? So you must have heard about it. And in my I have a very small apartment in London, but we used to have satsang here. And one day, one man come, I'd not seen him before, and he asked at the end of satsang, please, can I see you privately for one-to-one, you see? And I tried to avoid as much as possible. I said, have your one-to-one in front of everybody, no? And he said, no, I have to speak with you. So I agreed to it, and he came. We met one day, and he came inside. I said, why did you want a one-to-one? What is it about? So he said, you know, I'm told I've got a terminal illness, no? And one of your students, she is actually my nurse in the hospital. And she told me, you must come and see Mooji. And so I've come here because I looked you up and I saw, yes, it spoke to me, and I've come to see you because I want to die before I die. I said, I've not heard like this before, no? I want to die before I die. But immediately understood what he meant. I want to die, what it means. I want to die to all that I'm not. Isn't it? There must be meaning the same thing. When you speak, I hear the same thing. I hear it from the same vibration also. I want to die to what is not real, what is not true. Enough imagination, enough projection. I just want to come home before this body falls, you see. And I was so deeply touched by this because there's an urgency there. Something urgent, you know, I don't know how long, you see. So I said, okay, I'm very happy. Let's start straight away, waste no time. Look, what is in the way like that? Then, like this, I came to meet him. And then, and now it's been over 2 years, he dropped, the body is gone. Where is he now? So now your question comes, I wish to die before I die. And I feel this should be everyone's deep prayer, request. You see, I want to be free, in fact. Another way of putting it, I wish to be free. Yeah? Because everything in life seems to somehow radiate a kind of freedom. And why not me? And then I ask, you know, what is in the way of your freedom? What do you feel stops you? Why you can put such an urgent request? What is it we must start? Where must we start? Where must I start to look with you?
I've read all your books. I've transcribed every one of your satsangs into volumes of. After watching them, I transcribe them hand by hand.
Yeah.
Where am I not finding you?
Yeah.
I hear you, I speak you, I am you, I only resonate in life for you. But, that's the but.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I'm just, I don't know what. I just.
We need to
what
look.
Don't I see?
We need to look at the but. Or what is the but in front of? We have to look, what is it? But what? And we must look at this.
Yeah.
Now, you see. What seems to somehow eclipse or somehow, conceals this intuitive, natural, spontaneous,
When you speak, when you share with everybody
Yes.
your wisdom, I understand absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely understand. Absolutely understand. Yesterday, last evening, the last gentleman that was up here before we ended, he was talking, and you were telling him to. The way you were guiding him was, and it was made so much sense to me, and I was like, oh yes, that's it.
Yeah.
And then I went back to my room, and all night long, I was awake from 11 to pretty much 6 o'clock this morning. And it was just like somebody had, well, not somebody, but something was just, nothing could be, I couldn't focus on that space. I couldn't focus on anything. And it was like I was just being jammed,
Yeah. So all these things you speak about, and please let's join in together, because when we speak like this, we're speaking really about the fundamental truth. No? So don't feel, because sometimes your mind says, okay, Mooji is talking to him, so I just wait until I come. You see? No, I am speaking to consciousness, about consciousness. You see? And we're going to look at this thing. Because if you put now, it was your turn to speak, you say, yes, where the but comes is like, for instance, last night from 11 until 6 o'clock, perhaps this morning, somehow static, frying eggs in my head. So what? Unless something is saying, this should not be, or this represents, that I'm not yet in my heart.
Yeah.
You see? Something is saying, this means I'm not yet in my heart, because I'm sure the Buddha did not have no eggs frying in his head. Nobody, you see? So this is itself, because it feels unpleasant. You see? But does it? I mean, we can look at it, and I really want to. You say, why is it going on like this? Why? Something also gives so much importance to this, and so much value, and so much meaning also. Why is this going on? Well, in another head, the consciousness might say, what's going on? Nothing is going on. Sometimes my head behaves like this. Sometimes it's sausages, sometimes it's eggs, sometimes just boiling water, sometimes it's wind. You see? What's the big deal? You see? So something is saying, this means I'm not yet there. It imagines that in a Buddha mind, it is just. But here in my mind, it's. So, what does it block? It doesn't block the awareness of it. You see? Can it block the self? Can it block the self? What I mean by the self means one's pure, essential being, you see. Can it block? Of course not. It is arising in the space of the self. And actually it has no particular reading by itself. It only has an interpretive reading. It's shh, and only because attention goes to this and some form of, I would say, interpretation, somehow energizes this and makes it seem like, oh, I want this to stop, which is only another thought engaged in again. We must listen to this, because in the same way that it arises for you, it would arise also in the Buddha body, also, same thing. Shh. But what would be the difference is that no energy would be given to that, unless at some deeper level it triggers an introspection that was needed in that moment. You see? But who actually panics in that moment? Who judges in that moment? It could be just, just habit. The idea we have of who we are and how we ought to be, is what is making the complaint, which itself is only a movement also, in the greater consciousness that you are. Do you follow?
Yes.
Because it is very important, you see. Sometimes people say, oh yeah, he's going into one of those mystical explanations again. I'll just wait until we get back to bread and butter consciousness again. But this is at the very crux of what the seeming difficulties come. And I really would wish that you follow this now, because it will come again, you see. Some things, if we feel, because the mind has a lot of notions about spirituality and about truth and how it should be, like I should be able to basically, there should be no pain. There should be no noise at all in my mind. It will just be like space all the time, right? Which in a way it is. Even with shh. Even with if shh arises in it. And then the thought comes, aha, I see, we have lost it again. But that is also seen merely as a kind of instinctive reaction from the mind. And then you don't bother about it. Don't press save. Shh, okay, look, okay, Mooji, I must talk to Mooji about this. And then the thing actually may exhaust its expression, but it's lingering in your own mind that this is something that I need to sort out. But it sorted itself out already. But the mind retains a link with that and said, this is a problem I have. And this is happening all over the world. In the waking state consciousness. Now, mind might say, but I don't feel it here. But that's not an adequate measure of self, that I should feel it. And who's the I who said I should feel it? You see? Don't let him off at all. But but if it's true, usually I feel it, feel it. But even this I'll put, and say the I who, or that says, but if it is true, I'd feel it here. And this is purchased every time almost, that this voice is true. This is a credible voice. Because how do we know if anything is true or not? You feel it, no? I feel it. It's true. And how many times you've been wrong? Sometimes we feel something deeply and say, yeah, this is really, I really feel this. In fact, many times we have a judgment formed in the mind. You really believe. And it turns out you are wrong, unquestionably wrong. So the intensity of feeling is not sufficient to say this is the way that truth is discerned or not even. Then what instrument is left for you then? I'll tell you this thing. Whatever you perceive through the senses or the mind, if it comes like this, and you pay attention to what you've been guided to look, but this is perceived also. And can it be kept as an unbroken perception? No, it also drifts away along with whatever sensations accompany that or is given to that. And another thing comes. So there's nothing lasting about it. It's just a movement. But when it is here, how much attention is given to it. And it is the attention that's given to it that gives it the sense of reality, gives it the sense of being powerful. Now, it may sound like a lot of things to remember. Actually, it is not. If you pay attention to the fact that whatever arises, no? Like I've said before, the actors will not go on the stage until the audience is seated. What did it mean? Huh? It meaning that no thought or sensation will be, kind of viewed or experienced unless there is someone to perceive it. You see? But many people don't get this because it is so much of a profound understanding. If you are not there, none of this is here for you. You must be the final witness of it. Who even is God if you are not here to be aware of God? Now someone says, oh, we are on the edge of blasphemy. No, really. Huh? If there was no you, where is God or heaven or hell or anything at all? Then you have to find out who are you. It is only blasphemy if you hold on to keep being a person. I am this person. But if you say, but somehow there's awareness even of this. Therefore, whatever it is that arises in the consciousness is an object of perception, effectively. Whether it is a tangible, three-dimensional, elemental object, or it is made of thought or some sensation, it is perceived in you. But not you personally. You personally is also perceived in you, the greater consciousness. You follow? Not. So like this, this is our line of seeing. And it is like you're scooping back, something is scooped back to look. When everything is swept aside, everything is swept aside. All the imaginings, the memories, the desires, the attachments, for a moment. Not because they're evil, but simply because they can be swept aside. There is something remaining that cannot be swept aside.